Sup peeps, my name's Ian. I sell books on eBay. We have 17 orders to go out today, 16 from yesterday and one from the wee small hours this morning. Bit of a cold, so excuse me if I sound a bit stuffed up. But let's run through some of these. A couple of mildly interesting orders going out, and quite a bit of bread and butter as well. But let's have a look at what's sold. Right, I've got them all stacked up in the wrong pile. The one I need first is right at the bottom. We have How to Kill Your Family by Bella Mackie. Nice hardcover, good condition. Don't think it's a first edition or anything. No, 11th print. That sold for £5. Everything's obviously plus postage. Get it wrapped up. I'm working back to front today. It feels a bit weird, but we'll make it work. It's been another kind of quiet week. Obviously, as usual, there's the eBay fees day at the start of the month, so coincidentally you always get a lot of traffic and a lot of sales on the days where they want to get money out of you. Funny that, isn't it? And then it again, but it's still been below average, but not too far below average, so hopefully it will pick up over the next few weeks, and we'll actually make some money. So Bella Mackie, £5, is going to L18, and it weighs, come on, where are we, 600 grams, so that's a nice normal Royal Mail 48-hour tracked parcel, and it goes in the pile. Next up, we've got another book on its own. Quite a few singles today. We've got Cold Blooded Liar, Karen Rose, and this one is going to DY8. Right. I need to move my bubble wrap back over here. I'm just working completely backwards and it doesn't feel right. That's better. Try those out. This will just have been a £1.99er. Yep, £2 plus postage. So making literally pennies on these £2 books. But I get my VAT back in the postage and eBay fees. So when the VAT bill goes by, obviously that comes off against any VAT sales. So that's where I really make money on these cheap ones. Packed up. Sticky strip it, flip it, seal it, and it weighs 350. Doesn't really weigh 350, but I always just round up. The scales actually say 311, where they say it was going DY8. There we go. Another one in the pile. Next, we have another single book. Adrian Tchaikovsky's Children of Time. Read this a few weeks ago myself. Quite good. Quite enjoyed it. Well, I got a copy of it. Might not have been that exact one. Sci-fi. Very popular sci-fi book. It's always in people's top 10s and top 20s. It seems to be. It's about spiders and spacemen and the end of the world. But yeah, interesting enough. Get this into its little bag. There's this sci-fi classic heading to WF6. WF6, that's a postcode I've never had before. Somebody's getting a treat. And we'll call that one 500 grams. WF6 I said, wasn't it? Yes. WF6. Into the pile. Right. Next we've got a bundle. So that's our first bundle of the day. And it's a bundle of Dick for Francis. 5 old paperbacks and a hardcover. So we'll get these stacked up as best we can to keep them nice and neat. There we go, nice little bundle. We'll wrap them up and get them sent off to some lucky punter who lives in SL5. So this Dick Francis was in one of the shops and they had, excuse me, about 18 or 20 of them in a big stack. So I just took a lot because they were nearly all old paperbacks and in pretty good nick for 1970s paperbacks. So grabbed them all, put them all in one listing. I think that's the 3rd or 4th lot to sell. There's only a handful left. I've picked up a few more since. And just keep adding to that pile now that it exists. But been very picky. Only the good condition ones. You see quite a few old tatty, which you could maybe pass off as acceptable. But people who are buying these old ones, I assume, are buying them as part of a collection rather than just a book to read. So I really only want the good condition ones. They don't sell for a lot of money. 12 quid for 6 books, so they're only 1.99ers each. I'm not being anything ridiculous with them. Aye, yeah, so 12 quid. Plus they'll get the buy 2 get 1 free, so really 8 quid for 6 books, plus the postage. But it's a pretty quick and easy pack, so I don't mind doing them that way. That's another one for the pile. Adrian Tchaikovsky, I should say, sold for £4. Right, next up we've got one of our clothing bits. Let's say I try really hard not to sell clothing, but I've got a load of stuff left over from when I did, so it's still clearing out. But it feels like every 1 and 2, especially women's clothing's a return. Oh, it doesn't fit quite right. Oh, it doesn't really suit whatever I'm wearing. And it gets really annoying. So something that I picked up for a couple of £2 and I'm flipping for a tenner, which is this. I've even showed you there. Nice gold Orvis jacket jumper thing. So that cost me a couple of quid. So I sold it for a tenner just to get it moved. But if somebody sends this back, then it's now cost me a tenner because I'll have paid for the item. I'll have paid £3 odd in postage to send it out to them, and then when they send it back it'll be £4 plus in postage, because when eBay do a returns they don't give people the same discounted rates you normally get. It's like a full price thing. So if this gets returned it'll have cost me £9 or £10 in total, and I can only sell it for like £10 to £15, so it's straight away it's a loss, which makes me very nervous whenever I sell clothes, especially women's clothes, because they just come back. No matter what measurements you put in, no matter what pictures you put on, the return rate is ridiculous. Anyway, that went for a tenner plus postage. Next up we have university physics. So I can't remember if this one's under 2 kilos or not, but I think it's a bit of a beast. No, 2.5 kilos, so that's why it's priced higher. So this sold for £5.65 plus the usual £3.65 postage, but it's going to be like £6.30 odd to send it. So it is actually just a £1.99 book, which again, it's no biggie because it's easy to pack. A wee bit of bubble wrap around it. There you go, bit of bubble wrap around it. You do that. Now, the only issue with these books when you're selling them for so little is the amount of space they take up. So if you have limited space, there is no point in having stuff that you're selling for a couple of quid, because it just takes up that much space that, I mean, I could have had a nice backgammon set in the same spot as that sells for 50 quid. I don't have a backgammon set, I've not seen any for a while. But, you know, when it's limited space, really consider what you're doing. And that's something I'll maybe make £1 off of that at the end of everything, which is not worth the space it takes up. But I picked them up, big bundle of things, so it's there to be done. ST5. I'm always changing my postage policy. I can never make up my mind what's best, but I'm thinking changing it up. So anything that's below 2 kilograms I'll continue to go by Royal Mail. Anything above 2 kilograms I think I'm going to start using maybe Every to send it out. Coffee break. It's about 60p cheaper per parcel, but when you're only making 50p to a pound, normally that's doubling the profits. So I think that's what I need to do. So £5.65 plus postage going to ST5. Next bundle, the first of two Ian Rankin bundles. Which one is it? It's this one, In a House of Lies, Even Dogs in the Wild, and A Song for the Dark Times. So they are going to FK10, and again 199ers, so that's £5.97, but well, I've got one of them free, so £4 plus postage to send these off. So again, I'll be making my money when the VAT comes back. So when I say making my money, I may get money from the VAT man, but they don't like doing that, I know, because it's the tax man, eh? But the clothing etc that I sell, I do have to pay VAT on. So you don't pay VAT on books. So a couple of these sales covers the VAT I would be due to pay on the likes of that Orvis jumper. And because I mostly sell books, every quarter it usually means a modest payment coming back from the VAT man, because I can claim back on all my postage, all my fees, all my packaging, etc. So that's where selling single books for £2 kind of makes it worthwhile. When I sell a single book for £2, this weighs 1,000 grams. Where did I say it was going? FK10. Yep, so I sell a book for a couple of quid. Look at that pile. Plus 365 postage, so it goes for say £5.64. Not say, it does go for £5.64. I then pay £1 odd in fees to eBay, £3 odd to Royal Mail, so it's maybe costing me a £5 to make that sale, and that's stuff that VAT can be paid on. So that's like £1 back in VAT every time one of those gets sold, which is where I can make some money. So I'm just folding up one of these Warhammer books going out. So Imperial Guard Codex, this went for £9, that's a better sale. So yeah, those £2 books, although I'm only making 50p at the front end, I'll get another £1 back on it from the VAT man every quarter. So it's not good for cash flow because obviously it's not an immediate return, but it's good value in the longer run. If I sell 5 books together, then instead of making maybe 40-50p at the time of sale, I'll make a couple of quid at the time of sale, but only get £1 back on the VAT end as well, because it's roughly the same fees, postage, etc. So to sell those 5 books separately at a really low price, I can make £6 or £7. If I sell them as a bundle, I make £2 or £3. The £2 or £3 is better for the cash flow because it's kind of immediate, but for overall profit it's better to sell them individually. That's how it was. It's not a huge difference between the two, but if you were selling, and I worked this out not long ago, if you were selling 100 a day and you sold them all singly compared to like bundles of 5s, it could be up to an extra £20,000 a year you can earn, which is quite significant. It's never going to work out that clean, but that's what can be done. Anyway, this Warhammer Codex book is going to M32, it weighs 350 grams. Stick it in the pile. Always put a bit of cardboard round them before I put them in the bubble wrap, just to give them a bit of rigidity. Right, next, pair of jeans, super dry skinnies. Got 2 cold sales today. Jeans don't come back quite as often as tops and jumpers, but that's mostly because I try not to pick up women's jeans. Super dry skinny, waist 30, leg 32, very good condition. I paid I think £2.50 for them, and they sold for 15 plus postage. So it's like 18 quid, so it's £3-4 of that goes to the VAT man. eBay take their fees, postage costs, so 3, 6, about a tenner of that £18 is gone in fees straight away. So I make maybe about £8 or £9, but they cost me £2.50, so at £20 sale makes me about a fiver. So it's not huge money. It's not like you're selling something for 15 quid and getting 15 quid. It's way below that. But anyway, it's packed and done. Right, next we have another single book. Let's see, we've got a few of these today. Danielle Steel, The Affair, needs to be hardcover, and the dust jacket has slipped up in it slightly. Let's just even that up so it packs nicely. Yeah. Another 1.99er. You find a lot of these, so rather than having them hanging around for ages to make an extra 50p, the idea is just get them out the door, get them in, get them out, make a few pence. As long as it's, obviously you're making so little on these, it needs to be stuff that you can pick and pack quickly. It can't take a long time, otherwise it really is a waste of time and money even buying them in the first place. And again, when you're picking these up, if you're going all the way to one shop to pick up one Danielle Steel book, there's no point. So have that bundle of authors or book types that you want to get, and when you go in somewhere that's the right price, you know, £3 for £1, £4 for £1, whatever it might be, you grab, and just get in and out as quick as you can to make it worth your while. WN5, this is going to. WN5. Alright, that goes in the pile. Next we have another single book. This one's a wee bit more interesting though. You know, Wing Chun Kung Fu, Volume 1, Basic Forms and Principles. So, don't know if I said this other day or if it was a video that didn't work. I always pick up martial arts books. I do like them. And they usually sell reasonably well and don't take too long. Example, this one sold for £5 plus postage. So that's quite nice for a single book. Let's put a bit of bubbles around it. Tape it down. Ready for the noise? And here we go again. Wing Chun. That was Ip Man, I think, did Wing Chun. So the Donnie Yen movies, and Bruce Lee took that and turned it into Jeet Kune Do, something like that. So it's a popular kung fu, and Donnie Yen's phenomenal, so well worth picking up if you see it. 200 grams is going to L10, so if you live in L10, be afraid, because there's going to be a new Ip Man on the scene. Now, is this, get my trusty steel rule out. Oh, that's a large letter, that's good. So let's get that taped down. I don't try and send things large letter, but if they can go large letter, I'll quite happily let them. That's another pennies saved every time. So definitely, yeah, it's definitely. I've got a wee LL on it, so I remember. Right, in the pile. Next up, 4 DVDs. DVDs have been a wee bit slower lately, but the last couple of days we had a few out. Gremlins, Gremlins 2, Apocalypse Now, and Casino. So 4 absolute belters. Yeah. So that would have been like £3 for the 4 of them. Let's just double check that, make sure I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, £3 plus postage, going to be 76. So again, these are all sales. We're really lucky if I'm making £1 on them. And these, I pay VAT on when I sell these. So 20% VAT, £6, a quarter, a fifth of that going to VAT man. So it's about £1.50. Well, it's less than £1.50, but we'll call it that for ease. Plus £3.30 postage. That's £4.80. Plus eBay fees, which is going to be about £1. So I'm making like 40p. Plus I've paid packaging as well. So cash coming in, not worth it. I'll get some of that back obviously on the VAT, on the postage, etc. That really is just a case of, I know I can get a lot of these very easily, so if I can sell a lot of them very easily and make pennies at a time, as long as the amount of time it takes to like deal with them, you know, process, list, pick, pack is worth it, then I'll continue to do so. You know, you could pack up 100 DVDs in half an hour. make yourself £100. Well, not quite, maybe 40 quid. So it can be worth it from that point of view. Anyway, next up, second last of our single books. What's that called again? The Shepherd's Life, A Tale of the Lake District by James Rebanks. Really nice penguin book. That sold for £1.99. What a surprise. That's a nice book. Snip it. And tape it. Tape it again. And tape it again. And stick it in a poly bag. I'm running low in bags. I forgot my bank card expired last month, so my order didn't go through. And I keep meaning to go in and update the card with the new card, and I keep forgetting. So I'm going to remember to do that today to get some more bags out, because I don't want to run out. 300 grams. And the Shepherd's Life is going to PH36. PH36. Goes in the pile. Right, last of the single books. Tart, My Little Friend. I think this is going international. Where are we? Yes, that was £4.50 plus postage. But it's going international. Don't know where, I haven't looked. But because it's going to get bounced around the world somewhere, we'll put plenty of wrap around it. There we go. An extra 10 pence of bubble wrap going into that. I'd rather it got there than getting complaints. Wrap it all up, stick it in a bag. Just a big bubbly brick. Well, we like to make sure it gets there. Comment from a buyer last week. You know, please wrap well. Our postman thinks books can bounce, which is a fair comment, to be honest. Anyway, Ms. Tart weighs 1,100. And we'll be going to, is it again WS13 they go to, isn't it? Is it? I think I've got a couple of international ones, so I better. No, it's alright. It's organised. WS13 for Tart. Right, three to go. Bundle of Scott Mariani, the Moscow Cipher, Nemesis Programme, Crusader's Cross, and the White Knight. And these will be going out to TA3, £11.80 plus postage, but it'll be less than that because it's, you know, get 30% off type deal. So a third of 12, £4 off, that's about £8. So it works out again about £2 a book. The 4 books cost me £1, £3.29 postage, 20 odd pence in packaging materials. So call that £3.50, so we're at £4.50. eBay fees will be about £3, so £7.50. So I'm making about £2.50, £3 on these. Then obviously the whole VAT thing again. So if you're selling books, get that registered. Though it doesn't improve your short-term cash flow, it makes a difference in the kind of over the course of a year as to how much profit you can actually make. But if you just sell a few books and you sell lots of other things but you don't hit the VAT threshold, don't register for VAT, because then 20% of everything you sell will be going straight to the tax man before you even get to sniff at it. Right, there we go. 2 orders to go, and the final order we'll be packing is the most interesting one. But first, second bundle today for Ian Rankin. West Wind, doors open, and the Flood. Don't know why I said it like that, but I did. These are going to CO6, so it's another £4 for 3 books. Wrapped up. A wee bubbly bundle. Your bag. I'm nearly on to the last one, which is the best order of the day. It's actually the one that came through in the wee small hours. Anyway, these ones weigh 900 grams. Where did I say they were going to? CO6. Right, are you ready? Now, if you've watched any of these before, you know when I see old books, I pick them up. You never know. Usually they're worth next to nothing, you know, £2-3, just normal. But every now and again, they can be worth a wee bit more. Now, I really struggled to find a value for these because I couldn't find the exacts. So I took a bit of a punt based on similar listings, and it's The Three Musketeers, volumes 1 and 2 in French from about 1890, so about 130 years old, these 2 books. Lovely little hardcover cloth bound books, and they sold for £45. So again, I picked them up in my usual bundles where I'm paying 25p a book, so that's a nice return. You don't find many that are like that, and I've probably had these for about 3 months, so they're taking up a little bit of space on the shelf. Keep them wrapped up in some acid free, and now I shall wrap them very carefully in bubble wrap, and maybe even put a bit of cardboard around that before sticking them in a waterproof mailer so you can get there in as good condition as possible. You know, they've survived all of those years, 130 years approximately. So for them, something to go wrong with them now would be an absolute travesty. And these are going international as well. I wonder if they're actually going to. We'll have a wee look. Let's see if I can see what they're going. Australia. Heading down under, so I'm going to stick these in a box as well before I pack them up, and then just make a normal size little package off to Australia. That's a terrible accent. I'm going to try. I'm going to pretend to try. We'll put them in a bit of cardboard, so they'll wrap up quite nicely in that end piece there. But I've discovered my steel rule cut's better than my craft knife. Go figure. So wrap them up in the cardboard, make a little box for them, stick it down nice, get them in the middle, do the ends. Oh, I'll go and see that, and now it's proven me wrong. I'm going to get my craft knife. Yeah, not much difference, to be honest. So I just cut in the ends. So we chop in one end, fold them over. Flip it on its head. Now this doesn't need to be a super tidy box because it's going in a bag. It'll keep it all together as well. It's just to give it a bit of protection and rigidity. Fold in the ends. And we've got a little box, just like that. Just a bit of tape to hold it in place. And into the bag it goes. Yep, there's the tape coming undone already. So, the bag will actually keep the box together. Let's spot it there. So this is 700 grams. WS 13, and it's going to Australia, so I'll put the wee AU at the end because then I can pick that up from the postage label and know where it's going. So anyway, that is all of today's orders. The total value for that was, something else was just sold. 3 Lisa Jewell books. Sorry, 2 Lisa Jewells and a Susan Lewis. I'll go and get them after. So £250. Yeah, about 250 quid worth of orders. 55-ish of that will be postage. So a bit more, about 58 will be postage for that one. So let's take 60 quid off of that. So that's down to 190. eBay fees will be about 80 quid and all of that. So that's down to 110. So that's not too bad for the day. However, that 250 quid is before all of my discounts, so it's actually only about 2/3 of that I start with. So let's do that calculation again. Take 80 quid off of that is 170, 60 quid for postage is 110, and then it'll only be about £60 in fees off of that. So that's between £40 and £50 made from that 250 quid's worth of orders. Meh, ain't paying your day's wage, but that's taken me 40 minutes to do all that packing whilst talking to you guys. Took me about 10 minutes to pick them all. So if you're looking at it from that hourly rate, it's not bad, but I've still got to do another hours of listing as well. So £20 an hour, I'll take it. Beats working for a living. Anyway, that is all for today. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. If you have, like, subscribe, whatever else it is you're meant to do on YouTube. Have a great day. See you later. Love you. Bye.